Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, no, WWE will not be releasing Mustafa Ali.
Sami Zayn has re-signed with WWE, though.
AEW Dynamite has defeated WWE Raw in the 18 to 49 demographic.
And AEW quite possibly, maybe, almost definitely have quietly signed this former WWE star. I'm Adam Wilborn.
We only ever do one take.
And this is the news.
We are going to kick things off with the latest on the Mustafa Ali saga. Of course, he requested his release from WWE, according to the man himself on social media earlier this week. Reports emerged after that from Fightful Select talking about how he'd had a heated argument with Vince McMahon over a creative pitch that was described as something he would never do. Now, it has emerged via Fightful Select again that WWE will not be releasing Mustafa Ali at this time. So there's been discussions between Mustafa and the company, of course, about this. The term value came up a lot, although Mustafa was told, we're not letting you go at this time. It is believed that he has several years left on his WWE contract, the poor guy. So, you know, when he requested his release, when Ali said, hey, I don't want to be here anymore, can I just go? We all kind of looked at the Tony Storm.
Yeah.
I almost said Tony Soprano there. That's a weird couple of people to mix up. But we looked at that example and thought, okay, maybe they will let her go, let Ali go, because, well, Tony wanted to go and they just, off she went. She had a title fight on TV like a couple of days before or whatever, and, they just let her go. In this case, they don't seem to be doing that. Now, my personal opinion on this is, there's a lot of bad faith stuff going on the internet last night about this, as you'd expect. A lot of people going, people complain when people get cut, but when WWE hold on to Mustafa Ali, they're happy. Well, yeah, of course, the guy doesn't want to be there, right? He's asked to be let go from the company. Look, as far as I'm concerned, it's really simple. Not enjoying his job, Ali. Doesn't want to be there, wants to go and do something else. WWE aren't going to do anything with him, right? Outside of the odd mid-card feud here and there, they're not going to do something that is going to scratch his creative itch. Let him go. Yeah. Just let him go.
Yeah, exactly. I think my problem with WWE cutting people is not, what about the time that they've got? My point is, you can't agree to a contract and say you can't go anywhere and then just cut people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if someone wants to leave, like you say, just let him go. They've done everything. They didn't give him that match that would have been brilliant at WrestleMania with him and Kofi Kingston, with all the history there. They've chucked about 10 different bloody gimmicks at him. They had him look like a twat at the Money in the Bank. I've got the briefcase, but Brock Lesnar's music's playing, so I'll just stand really still and hope like a dinosaur he doesn't see me or something. They gave him the bloody SmackDown hacker gimmick. They gave him... Just let him go, man.
Yeah.
But I will say... And not to be, smart after the fact, but when he tweeted that, as much as I was thinking about the Tony Storm thing, I did get slight Neville vibes from it. Now, Pac, of course. And he was like, I can't be arsed. And I was like, ooh, that might not be your decision in terms of WWE legally going, nah, you're sticking around. I dread to think what on earth they pitched to him that he was like, right, that's the final straw, I'm out of here. We're not going to speculate on that, of course. But you just let him go, man. Yeah. Then you are not, like you say, this isn't someone who you think, maybe down the line. It's not even someone like, maybe if he gets good, we'll do something with him. He already is good. He's sensational. Paul Heyman has said as much. People behind the scenes have said if Paul Heyman was in charge, Mustafa Ali would probably be in the title picture, right? That's up for debate as to whether or not you think that's a good idea. The fact is, look at what the direction WWE is trending towards now with their developmental brand, for example. He ain't going to get anything there. Yeah. He wants to pursue opportunities elsewhere. And we're not even just talking about AEW here.
Let him have them. Real simple. He's a talented guy. They've never really shown any desire to push him at a level above kind of like basic mid-card standard, and even then it's always for a brief period of time.
The best he will get is an IC or US title run, 100%, in my opinion.
And it'll last like a month and he'll lose it to someone else. Yeah, the whole thing's up. There's a big difference between them straight up cutting people that don't want to leave and someone asking for the release. Do the right thing, don't be spiteful.
In better news, however, I suppose it's better news if you're a WWE fan. I think it is better news. I know I saw a lot of people last night talking about this. just be happy for the guy, in my opinion. It's
Let
his
the guy
decision.
live. Let the guy live.
He's not been forced to do this. But Sami Zayn has re-signed with WWE. This is according to Fightful Select. No crap, just Sap, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. No word on the exact length of the deal. Generally considered to have sort of been re-upped for several years. This is less surprising following Kevin Owens re-signing with the company. I think we thought because they're such good pals, when one remained, the other one's probably going to stick around as well. All I can hope is now, as part of this negotiation, because WWE made no secret of the fact, A, they were concerned he was probably going to go to AEW when Kevin Steen might have been going there as well. And you sense that Owens has probably got what he needed out of it, not just in terms of money, get that money, fair play to both of them.
Hell yeah.
But also, fingers crossed in terms of something storyline-wise. I just hope that's something for Sami Zayn as well. And I'm not just talking about an IC title reign. I say it every year, Andy, and you know what? I'm ready to be hurt again. Sami Zayn as Mr. Money in the Bank. I don't have any facts to support that has been part of the negotiations. I just hope it's the case. But regardless, he's happy. He's made this decision. Let's just support him and say, congratulations, Sami. Enjoy the next few years in WWE.
I think Sami is one of these guys who has completely figured WWE out, right? Because no matter what level of the card he is pushed on, he's fun, he's on TV, he's clearly into it, he knows how to present himself in a way that resonates with the crowd and makes management want to use him constantly. He's great as a pain in the ass heel. He's been great in this role. When did he turn? It was the Raw after WrestleMania in 2019, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. When he came back.
Were we there?
We were there. Yeah, I should have remembered that a little bit better. But yeah, no, I think it's perfectly valid if you were maybe looking forward to seeing Sami going somewhere else and thinking of possibilities. That's totally fine, but at the same time, he's a human guy and he makes his own decisions and nobody should really judge that, I don't think.
Him and Owens have you're right, have butted heads initially when they rose to the main roster. Without question, you could sort of tell that Vince and them were not seeing eye to eye. But I think they've really found their groove. It might not necessarily be what everyone wants to see Sami Zayn doing all the time, without question. And I still get pissed off when he just gets jobbed out or loses matches. But nevertheless, he's happy. We should be happy for him. Best of luck. I've no doubt he'd been great in AEW, but let's be honest, they've got enough people right now anyway. Yeah,
and I honestly think he's a weekly highlight of WWE TV anyway, so I'm quite happy about this, to be honest.
And he's going to feud with Johnny Knoxville at the Rumble.
Oh,
who'd have thought that?
There we go. Well, I mean, Bad Bunny had a great first match, so Johnny Knoxville.
No pressure, mate. Pat McAfee. Bad Bunny.
Ronda Rousey.
Now, Johnny, I mean, he'll take the bumps.
He'll definitely take the bumps, aye. Aye. Oh well.
I'm so excited for the Rumble. I get giddy. What, a week in a day? What is it, 7-8 more sleeps?
You know what I'm not excited for?
What?
The reaction to this next story. Because ratings discourse, right? We're going to run through this one quickly, but we only talk about ratings on the channel when it's a story, right? Raw going up 100,000 or Dynamite going down 100,000 week to week, not a story. That's why we don't talk about it every week. If Dynamite dropped to 10% of its viewership or something metal, we would talk about that. When Raw has an all-time low, we talk about that. If SmackDown suddenly did 4 million, we would talk about that. Dynamite beating Raw P18 to 49, which is the metric that the television industry uses to rank TV shows, whether you like it or not, is a story. So we're going to mention it here. If you don't like ratings talk, you know where the timestamps are. Anyway, here we go. Dynamite this week, good numbers. A total of 1.032 million viewers, including 100,000. I've messed up the 100,000 gimmick again.
It always trips me up.
That's in the P18 to 49 demographic. Rating of 0.44 compared to Raw this week of 0.43. Now, Raw's numbers were good, considering that Raw was going up against an NFL playoff game. The Raw number this week was tremendous, given the circumstances. Dynamite here has scored a good number as well. Dynamite's up from the previous week. This is the highest 18 to 49 number since, I have written it down somewhere on this piece of crap, 29th of September. Highest number since then. Good. It's also the first time that Dynamite has beaten Raw in 18 to 49 since the 13th of September 2021. Dynamite was first on the night amongst original cable shows, beating out a couple of live NBA games on ESPN. Show continues to benefit from being moved from TNT to TBS. On TBS, it has a very strong lead-in from the Big Bang Theory, which I didn't know was still a thing. I guess it's a rerun or something, maybe. I don't know.
I don't care. I won't watch it. I don't like it. So.
Yeah, Sherman.
Nerd stuff in it. I'm far too cool for that.
Yeah, I like Barney. What's his...
Don't.
Barney Mother. That's his name. But yeah, there you go. That's the story. Go nuts or skip it. But it is a story, so that's why we're talking about it.
Those are the numbers, and that is what they are. I'm not going to talk about it because I can't be bothered, and
people will go nuts.
Let's just talk about something else in the comment section, shall we? Finally, let's conclude by that former WWE star who is rumoured to have signed with AEW. A lot of speculation around ex-WWE superstar Marina Shafir. This is all because there was a T-shirt bearing Shafir's name and nickname The Problem.
I like that.
Added to ProWrestlingTees.com and Shop AEW. People have put two and two together and got she's possibly signed with AEW. We don't know any more about this, but what do you reckon to her potentially signing that? I was really good when WWE let her go.
I think, it would be really unusual for AEW to put out a T-shirt on their own shop for someone who isn't signed. And also, she won on Dark the other week. She won at the tapings last week as well. She's got her own entrance theme, her own ring entrance, so it looks very much like she's come into the AEW... I don't want to use the word family. Fold. Yeah, there you go. I think she's a really interesting wrestling prospect, right? Because she was in WWE for 3 years, but she didn't do a whole lot. She was barely used. She obviously had the crew with Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke early on. But beyond that, not a whole lot going on. Barely made TV up until the end when she was released. She's obviously got the MMA experience. I'm very interested to follow her and how she grows, how she develops. No idea how it's going to turn out, but, lots of people come in and you don't know where they're going to go and they end up shooting to the top in pro wrestling. There's no way of tracking development. I was always quite impressed by her aura. I've enjoyed her work post WWE. I liked her a lot in Bloodsport. I think she's going to do a good job, and I'm rooting for her to kick ass, as I am for anyone who loses their job in pro wrestling.
According to my sources, she is going to be given a new gimmick in AEW, water-based gimmick, and she is going to be called Aqua Marina. There's a little Stingray reference for all the fans out there.
Cool.
Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Of course, you want to get in touch with us. Eddie Zamhari starts us off. Thank you, as always, for your question, Eddie. It says, hello, boys, with Royal Rumble a week from now. Oh, I'm getting, I'm so excited.
Rumble's good.
Do you think we will see Tommaso Ciampa, Tommy Chomps himself, and Pete Dunne enter the Royal Rumble as their introduction on their way to the main roster?
Well, Ciampa's dyed that grey beard, hasn't he? I actually liked him a little bit better when he had the grey, man.
Yeah, a little bit of salt and pepper.
Grey salt and pepper men have to stick together. Tommaso, I thought you were one of us. Jokes aside. So logically, it would, looking at what's happened in NXT recently, that would make sense.
I mean, they did have a memorial for Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne literally died, and Tony D'Angelo killed him. But I'm a bit reticent to say yes for Ciampa because he said in the past, I want to go to the main roster. It wouldn't be good for my injury history. I've had neck surgery.
Yeah.
There's a road schedule. It's a bit more grueling than working NXT. So I am a bit more dubious of that happening. But I will say I won't be totally surprised if it does happen. Maybe his stance is softened. Maybe his neck's in better condition. Maybe he's just changed his mind.
Yeah, I'd say more likelihood of Pete Dunne being involved in the Rumble. Yeah. He's been in a Rumble before, hasn't he?
He hasn't.
Yeah. I'd like to see Tommaso Ciampa. I still ridiculously hope against hope that they'll get him on the main roster and be like, oh, you're mint. There's a reason why we made you NXT champion. But not sure, like you say, dyed beard, main event stuff, etc., etc. But yeah, it'd be great to see both of them in there. Book them well, please, WWE, but I'd put more money on Pete Dunne than Tommy Chomps. Daniel Murphy, Matt, gives us our second question of the day, who says, since Rey Mysterio is on the cover of the new game, which I might actually buy now, I watched the trailer for it yesterday and went, oh, you bastard, you got me again.
For it.
Could we expect to see him have some sort of push soon?
Potentially. I mean, the year Goldberg was on the cover, he obviously came, or was, whatever the situation was, he was featured prominently in the game. Maybe his, I don't know. He came back and he got a big push and everything else. So, there's history to suggest that. I'm going to let you answer this one properly, however, because I know exactly what you're going to say.
What is it? 8 days away from the Royal Rumble, the night that me and Michael Hamflett have been saying for, I think, over 2 years now, is the moment that we'll finally get the Mysterio split. It was teased on Raw. Ray eliminated his own son. Oh, what we like here, we took the Street Profits out and I'll chuck you out. And what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble is, I'm not saying Ray's going to win it, But he's going to be doing well, so well that he, for some reason, wants to celebrate halfway through with his son, who says, "Hey, Dad, up you go, on the shoulders. Electric chair, you old prick!" He's going to electric chair him from the ring onto the ramp. How's that possible? Not my problem, that.
Yeah.
That's for you guys to work out. But yeah, he's going to be fighting his son at WrestleMania, and I love it. Yeah. I've wanted to see that. I wanted to see Dominic at WrestleMania. Since doing the Samoa Joe thing, when I really wanted to see Samoa Joe, Dominic.
It's the most.
I love you, Dominic. I don't know why I've got this weird obsession with it all.
Most hotly anticipated father versus son showdown since Ricky versus Frank.
Called it. Right. Final question today does come from Daniel Murphy, who says, "Morning, gentlemen. Assuming Hangman gets past Archer, who do you think his next challenger will be heading into Revolution? I hope it's a triple threat with MJF and Punk. Thanks. Enjoy your weekend." Dan, enjoy your weekend as well. What do you reckon?
Adam Cole.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's going to be Adam Cole. I do think Hangman is going to get past Archer. I think they're going to do that on TV. And then I think they will do him and Cole at the pay-per-view. They've made a big thing of pointing out that Cole's number one in the rankings. Cole has the Lights Out match against Orange Cassidy. Lights Out doesn't count to your record, so that's not going to diminish his position in theory. Yeah, it's going to be Adam Cole.
It is going to be Adam Cole, I reckon. It's going to be an absolute banger at Revolution. And presumably... Well, we're talking about this on the AEW Dynamite review, WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. We are getting MJF and Punk at Revolution, although we possibly think, not to speak for the Dudley Boys too much, that is going to be a rematch because in a couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken, Dynamite comes from Chicago, and I think
Illinois.
I think MJF's going to probably beat CM Punk because, in the words of Bully Ray, think of the heat. Yeah. Think of the heat.
Bully Ray had some... other words.
Yeah, we're not talking about them. We're not
Nope.
talking about them. Let's move on to today's. And finally, I've just realised I forgot to mention Sami Zayn's tweet earlier when I was talking about him. He simply tweeted, "Sticking around and having fun, that's the Sami Zayn way." Absolutely spot on. And I just wanted to use this opportunity to say happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. Big E booking himself against Goldberg. The rest of the New Day tee-heeing, in his words, in the background, whilst he books two big meaty men slapping meat. Never change, Big E. I love you.
All-time great.
It's just sensational, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. Change the narrative.
I
haven't seen the match yet, though. Why?
If Goldberg has got one match left in him, just do that.
It's fake.
And have Big E wreck him.
Why?
Right, let us know your thoughts on that.
I want the match, by the way.
Yeah, and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts, SmackDown preview, AEW Rampage preview, WrestleCulture with a hashtag Bloody Good Quiz coming later today as well. Plus, you can follow us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Well, actually, follow both of us. Follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H today stands for Hey, rest in peace, Meatloaf. Sucks.
Oh, yeah, that was rubbish news to wake up to. You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.